can't believe we haven't located Sonic yet. Gee, I wonder where he went. Ah!
I've been looking for you. You're the Iblis Trigger. Your actions will condemn us all.
Who are you?
My name is Silver. For the future of the world, I will destroy you!
Alright, so now we're fighting Sonic. And I'm gonna say this now.
Doesn't look like you're here to talk.
Silver's version of this fight is so much faster than Sonic's. Cause allow me to demonstrate. So remember how Silver can grab stuff and throw it at Sonic? He could do that anytime. Like, you don't have to wait for Sonic to do a particular attack. So what Sonic will do, though, is he'll jump in the air, scream out, "Here I come!" and then he'll homing attack you after a few seconds. But you can just do this.
Serious? Here I come. What? No.
And that's it.
Great.
That was literally the Sonic boss fight. And that is...
Perfect.
It's so funny to me. And you don't have to wait for him to do a particular attack or anything like that. And Shadows is basically the exact same, though there is a minor difference. But I don't remember it. Oh, no, wait. When he gets serious, he goes into his Chaos Snap mode. Trying to find the cup holder.
Is this a joke? How could someone like you cause the destruction of our world?
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter. For the sake of the future, the Iblis Trigger must be destroyed.
Oh!
Elise? Wait!
Ugh! Don't you dare turn your back on me! It's time I finally put an end to this!
Stop!
Amy? Get out of my way, Amy! This is my mission!
Absolutely not!
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it.
Leave it to me! The person you were looking for was Sonic! Were you planning to kill him?
He's responsible for destroying my world!
That's crazy! Sonic would never do that!
But it's true! In the near future, his actions will cause the devastation of my world! So I must!
No! I don't believe it. Even if that was true. If I had to choose between the world and Sonic, I would choose Sonic!
You crazy bitch!
So this is where you are. I've been looking for you. What's wrong?
Well, Blaze? To kill someone to save the world. Is that really the right thing to do?
You're so naive. Whether it's right or wrong, I can't really say. But what I do know is, if we don't take this chance, the future will remain exactly as it is.
Since he's after Dr. Eggman, let's sneak into Eggman's base. Maybe we'll learn something new.
Wait, how does Silver know who the hell Dr. Eggman is? Silver's only been here for like a day. So how the hell does he know who Dr. Eggman is? I mean, I know Eggman attacked the Soliana festival and shit, but like Silver was pretty far away, so I doubt that he heard that his name is Dr. Eggman. And even then, how does he know where Dr. Eggman's base is? I'm asking the real questions here. Alright, before we go to the White Acropolis, we do have to do this. We have to buy an upgrade. The best upgrade for Silver, the Shock Bracelet. So, the Shock Bracelet allows us to stun enemies in a pretty wide range when we jump in the air and press the square button. Now, there, it doesn't look that interesting, but you will see why it's useful when we start, you know, actually fighting enemies. But, like, how does Silver know where Eggman's base is? So, yes, for some reason, these switches just appeared here. I guess Eggman bumped up security. So, yes, in order to get through the White Acropolis base, you do have to press these switches within a time limit. But, you know, if you just press them all at the same time with the Shock Bracelet, you instantly get through it. So, yes, that is what the Shock Bracelet does. It is a very useful item, and it is the best thing you can do. It is the best way to stun enemies because you no longer have to get really close to them and pimp slap them in order to stun them. You just have to jump, press the square button, and there you go. Like, that will be the main strategy for the rest of this game. Like, I don't even think I'm exaggerating. Oh yeah, we get to play as Blaze again! Yeah, I look forward to playing as Blaze instead of Silver in his own fucking story. That's sad. I mean, I'll give Silver this. He has one of the more important stories compared to Sonic. I mean, Shadow's is way more important considering that he has to deal with Mephiles. And, you know, Shadow is kind of the one who kind of sets everything off. You know, if Shadow didn't, if the Scepter of Darkness didn't break, Mephiles would never have been able to go back, to go to the future and convince Silver to go back in time to kill Sonic. So really, yeah, this is all Shadow's fault. This whole game's a story of Shadow's fault. We can blame him, right? Just like how the downfall of Sonic started with Shadow. Because I will say, Shadow the Hedgehog, back in 2005, started this whole dark age of Sonic. Yeah, because this is officially like, you know, I think I've jokingly referred to the dark age of Sonic, because from, I want to say, 2005 to 2000 and probably 2010, to about then, that era was considered the dark ages of Sonic, because that was just when Sonic games were so terrible that, you know, it was considered the dark ages. And some people say that Sonic Heroes can sort of be the one that sort of started the trend, but not really. But then it was, but I like to say that Shadow the Hedgehog kind of started it, and then Sonic 06 just made it much, much worse. But what's sad, what really is weird now, is that some of the games that were from the Dark Ages are now being considered like cult classics or some shit. A huge example of this is Sonic and the Black Knight. You know, I remember like a few years ago, like I think a few years before Colors came out, everyone fucking hated that game. And then nowadays people are saying that game is so underrated. And I'm like, what? I remember we all hated it back in when it first came out. And then again, that's kind of a habit with Sonic fans and a lot of game fans, honestly, a lot of game franchises, fan bases. They always, flip-flop their opinions of a game because the new one's coming out. Because this was something that happened. This happens with Zelda, especially. When Skyward Sword was coming out, I remember everyone all of a sudden loving Twilight Princess. Despite the fact that back when Twilight Princess came out, everyone hated that fucking game because it just did what Ocarina of Time did. Did a lot of things that Ocarina of Time did. Even though I love Ocarina of Time, and Twilight Princess is my personal favorite Zelda game for various reasons. But then, when Breath of the Wild started making its rounds, I know people were saying that Breath of the Wild was the worst game in the series, which I legitimately still question to this day, because, Breath of the Wild is probably one of, in terms of, I can see why not everybody likes it, because, it's kind of a radical shift for Zelda if you've never played, the first Zelda game. Or you're just not a huge fan of open world games, like Skyrim or, stuff like that. I can understand why you don't like it, but, personally, I think Breath of the Wild, again, I will mention that I think Twilight Princess is my favorite of the series, but I will not deny that Breath of the Wild is still a good game. And then, people were saying that Skyward Sword was the best Zelda game of all time, and I'm like, what the fuck? I remember everyone hated that fucking game, and hated Fi. And I really don't understand what's going on with this whole flip-flopping shit. I think when Frontier started coming out, I started seeing people say that they think Forces was their favorite Sonic game, and I definitely question you on that, because Forces? Really? The game that's a straight line? You think that that's one of the best? You think that was a good game? You must be on some kind of special crack that I kind of want to smoke with you, because I'm kind of curious. Because, Forces did what it did, and, it was fine. I think the soundtrack of Forces is really good. I like some of modern Sonic's level themes and a couple of the Avatar themes, and I actually really like Infinite's theme. But, in terms of gameplay, Jesus fucking Christ, it's awful. It's just a straight line. You could play through Luminous Forest with one hand. There's literally a video out there of some guy playing through Luminous Forest, and all he's holding is the boost, and he's holding it with one hand and just pressing the boost button. And the jump button occasionally, which is, again, Forces in a nutshell. And, I like the idea of Forces. I kind of wish they went into a little more, what's the word? I kind of wish they did more in terms of, the fact that Eggman virtually won in that game. Eggman won in Forces, but they don't do anything with that because, Sonic is captured, presumed dead at the beginning of Forces, but they do nothing with that. They just immediately say, oh, Sonic's fine, we found him. And it's just that was literally 2 levels. Not even 2 levels, it was 1. You didn't even play a level by the time you found out that Sonic was fine. That was something that that should have taken multiple levels to figure out that Sonic was fine. I would, at the bare minimum, 2. And also the whole Sonic was being tortured for months line. There were some lines with that, and some characters that that were pretty highly spotlighted in the beginning of the game. Sort of just kind of got shafted. Silver's one of them. Knuckles kind of got shafted because he's the leader of the Resistance by yet they do nothing with him. Shadow, featured prominently in the trailer, has his own episode in the game for DLC. Does nothing. By the way, I got an S rank. you know, this just Forces was just, oh God, and I know, but whatever. You know, but I can't wait for people to say that you know, I hear people say that Frontiers is bad, despite the fact that I actually enjoyed Frontiers. But I can't wait for people to start saying that Frontiers is the best Sonic game whenever, whatever Sonic game happens. You know, I don't care what it is, but it's gonna happen. Like, I can't wait for it. Because I remember when Frontiers first came out, people were saying it was alright, and then now they're saying it's bad. And then now they're
Looks like we've
flip-flopping
arrived a
back
little
to it's
too
good.
Late. What? Oh no!
Alright, so now we're fighting the Egg Genesis. So, unlike Sonic's fight, you don't have to... I mean, okay, well, technically I didn't do the proper strategy for Sonic's fight, but Silver's fight uses the bottom half, where I mentioned that Silver has to throw stuff at the Egg Genesis from the bottom, because that's how Silver defeats it. So yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're just throwing shit at it. I think that's like a majority of Silver's boss battles, just throw shit at it.
A guard, huh? Just try and stop me.
So yeah, it's gonna fire missiles at you, but you know, with Silver's psychokinesis, you can grab them. At least you should be able to. Jump. Or, you know, you could be like me and miss, apparently, even though clearly those hit it. But you can also, there's some boxes that you can throw. Oh, son of a fucking bitch, Silver. You know, there's one thing I'm surprised about. And, you know, this is because, you know, Sonic 06's writing isn't that great. Eggman never says anything about Silver's appearance. Like, suddenly there's a third Hedgehog harassing him, and Eggman says nothing about it. Like, you'd think Eggman would be like, oh, great, there's another one. Eggman, for fuck's sake, Silver, grab shit.
Let's finish this. Ha!
They're locked onto you. Shake them off.
No, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, one more. Alright, a few more hits and it'll be dead. Silver threw the wrong thing like 10 times. I need a box. That works. Alright, now it's gonna crash into me like Sonic's fight. You know, usually the camera angle is, you know, on the egg Genesis to show that it's crashing into me, but guess not this time. Oh, that was terrible.
That took too long.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever, you don't need that many rings for all your upgrades anyway. Oh, right, this cutscene actually makes me question a lot of things about Eggman.
That's a Chaos Emerald. It said this gem can transform your thoughts into power. Collect 7, and a miracle's supposed to happen. Keep it as a lucky charm.
It transforms your thoughts into power.